Hello friends, today I'll be reading AESOP Fables. A greedy shepherd. One day a shepherd took his goats to a forest. Suddenly it began to rain. He flogged his goats towards a cave. There were already some wild goats in the cave. He thought, I will mix these goats with my goats. He brought them with him. The shepherd took good care of these wild goats. He gave him grass and leaves and neglected his own goats. Consequently, the latter became very weak. When the weather improved, these wild goats fled back. The shepherd thought, I need not worry. I have my own goats. But when he looked into the shed, all his goats were lying dead. I am the most foolish man on earth. For a handful of wild goats, I lost my own. This is a punishment for my greediness, he said to himself. Moral. Don't forget and ignore for old. Don't forget and ignore old for the sake of new. Value what you have. Sour grapes. A fox was hungry. While roaming, she reached a garden where there were grapevines. She saw many bunches of grapes hanging on a vine. Her mouth started watering. She wanted to eat the grapes. She said, these grapes look very sweet and juicy. She jumped again and again to reach the same, but in vain. She wished that if the grapevine was a little low, she could easily reach it. She relaxed for a moment. Then she tried to jump again. This time she could jump higher than before, but still she could not reach the grapes. Soon she got tired and went her way, saying, the grapes are sour. I don't like eating sour grapes. Moral. Don't find fault with what you cannot acquire. A cat and a sick hen. One day a hen was not feeling well. She said so in a loud voice. The cat was wandering around for her prey. She heard this and thought, this is the chance. I will make an excuse. I have to come through see her and make friendship with her. Getting a chance, I'll eat her up quickly. So with this evil thought in mind, she went to the hen and said politely, Sister, I heard that you are sick. If this is the truth, you should come to me. I'll entertain you with some of my funny jokes and you would feel better. The hen was very wise. She understood her craftiness. She said, thank you for your sympathy, but if you leave me alone, I'll think that I am cured. Moral. Nobody respects an unwanted guest. Now I'll read the fourth story. The Wolf and the Goat. Once a wolf saw a very healthy goat at the top of a hill. His mouth started watering. He thought, I cannot climb the hill. Why not? I try to bring the goat down. So he said, come down here, sweet little goat. The grass here is very much greener and longer. But the goat did not give any attention to what the wolf said and went grazing. The wolf tried again and again to woo her and said, in case you slip and fall down the hill, you will be badly hurt. I care about you, so please come down. Thank you, answered the goat. The grass down there may be better, but if I come down, you will get a good meal too. So I prefer to stay here, where you cannot reach. The wolf was irritated to hear this and walked away, disheartened. Moral: let not others exploit you. The rabbit and frog. One day, all the rabbits sat for a meeting in the forest. The leader said, "Brothers, we have no friends in this forest. Everyone thinks of us as worthless and tends to kill us. We cannot bear the insult anymore. So let us all go and kill ourselves by drowning in the river." Everyone agreed and moved towards the river. When they were about to jump into the river, two baby frogs saw them, and in fear they hopped out of the river. When the leader saw this, he changed his mind. He said to his friends, "Wait, having heard conservation, the little frogs jump out of the river. It means that we are not worthless. We have some value on earth. So why should not we destroy our valuable lives? Never consider yourself worthless." The donkey and a locust. A donkey, while grazing, heard a locust humming a beautiful song. He went to the latter and said, "Friend, you have a sweet throat. What do you eat to get this sweet and modulus voice? Please tell me." The locust said, "You have called me friend, so I'll surely tell you my secret. Only droplets of the fog. This had made my voice sweet. So from now onwards, I'll also eat the same, to make my voice as sweet as yours," said the donkey, and stopped eating grass. He only ate fog. After a few days, there was no change in voice, but he became very pale and weak. One day he said to the locust, "I was a fool to believe to you. God has given every living being a unique uniqueness. Moral: copying requires wisdom." The banyan tree and the reeds. In a forest, a huge banyan tree and some reeds grew side by side. The banyan tree boasted that was stronger than the reeds. One day, a strong wind blew, making the reeds bend to the ground. "Look at it," the proud banyan tree said. "You are so weak and feeble that you bend your head in fear every time the wind blows. Look at me, I am so strong that I can stand upright even in the storm." One day, a very strong wind blew, making the reeds bend to the ground. The tree laughed at it and said, "No storm can harm me." All of a sudden, very mighty storm began to blow, uprooting the huge banyan tree. "Good God, God," sighed the reeds. "We are better weak and small. We can bend, but we don't break." Moral: too much pride leads to fall. The old woodcutter and Yamraj. Once an old woodcutter went to a forest. While cutting a tree, he began to murmur, "I'm getting feeble day by day. I don't want to live anymore." Saying this, he threw his axe to the other side. Suddenly, with lightning flash, Yamraj stood before the woodcutter. He said, "I have expected your prayer, and I have to come to take your life." Finding Yamraj so close to him, the woodcutter said, "I am so sorry. I don't want to die now. You please pick up my axe and give it to me so that I can continue with my work." Moral: think before you say anything. Once a few hunters went to the jungle to hunt. They chased a deer, but none of the hunters could shoot the same. When the deer was out of sight, they decided to rest under a huge tree. The deer was hiding behind the deer was hiding behind some bushy plants. a little away from the hunters. He was feeling hungry. He began to eat the leaves from the bush. Due to the movement, it did not take the hunter. It did not take the hunters to know that the deer was hiding behind the bush. Suddenly, one of the hunters caught sight of the deer and shot an arrow towards him. The deer fell on the ground and realized, why did I eat those bushes which protected me from the hunters? Be loyal to your protector. A rise to swim. Once a young boy decided to swim in the river. Thank you, Aru Bhaiya, for coming. Thank you, Fun Science and Music. He realized that the water was very cold and he might catch cold. So, कुछ हो गया है. He realized that the water was very cold. He might catch cold. ये क्या हो गया? Back करो, back करो. क्या हो गया? Back करो. Back करो. चुप रहो देखिए. So he realized that the water was very cold and he might catch cold. In the meanwhile, a tide developed and he moved away in the wave. The boy tried his best, but he was unable to come out of the water. He began to shout for help. Luckily, a passerby saw the boy and said, "Foolish, this is neither a season nor the time to swim in the river. If you if your parents find you here, they will take you to a task. They will take you to task." The boy said, "Uncle, take me out first, and then give you a lecture. Every work needs to be done at the right time." Once there lived a lazy farmer. In the village. Every day he would take his horse cart to the city. One day the wheels of his cart got stuck in the roadside. Sledge and horses could not move forward. The farmer in dismay began to beat the horses, but the cart did not move from here. The farmer angrily came down from the cart and prayed to God, "Please help me in time of my distress." Listening to the prayer, God appeared before him and asked, "Did you try to take your cart out from the sledge?" When the farmer nodded the cart out of the sledge, when the farmer nodded his head in no, the God said, "Push the wheels with all of your strength." The farmer did the same. Finally, the wheels came out of the slush and he happily went home. Moral: God helps those who helps themselves. Hello, Nani. Hello, Nani. Hello, Ayu Bhaiya. Hello, Vachal. Thank you, Santosh Auntie. Thank you, Arav Bhaiya. A bird's nest. A bird with its babies lived in a nest in the millet field. When the crop was ripe, the farmer with his sons came and said, "Tomorrow I'll call some of my neighbors to cut my crop." The babies were very afraid when they heard this, but the mother said, "Don't worry, our nest is safe." Next day, when his neighbors did not come, the farmer said, "Tomorrow I'll call some of my relatives to cut the crop." In the evening, when the mother bird came, the children told her what the farmer said, but she again said, "We are still safe." Next morning, the farmer found none of his relatives there in the field. He said to his sons, "Tomorrow I'll do the cutting myself." Now the mother bird said, "We must move to a better place." Thus, before the farmer could destroy their nests, the bird moved away from there with her babies. Moral: do not depend on others for your work. The vain sage. They left a beautiful sage in a forest. He was very proud of his horns. Whenever he drank water from the river, he saw his shadow and thought, "My horns are very beautiful. My legs are ugly and thin. I am ashamed of them. I am ashamed of the latter." It was a hot windy day, and the sage and the stag was grazing in a forest. Suddenly a hunter came there. When he saw his beautiful stag, when he saw the beautiful stag, he ran after him with his bow in hands. The stag ran as fast as he could, so on his way he was out of reach of hunter. Thus his ugly legs saved his life, but unfortunately his beautiful horns were caught in a bush. He tried hard to free himself, but in vain. Now the stag realized his mistake. He began to praise his legs that had saved his life and cursed the horns that were becoming cause for his death. Moral: all the glitters good is not gold. Thank you, Dadi. One, the selfish goat. Once a lion was after an ox. The ox was running fast for his life. He saw a cave. He quickly went and hid himself. A goat used to live there. She asked him to leave the cave, as it was her house. On being him on being denied, she began to push the ox with her horns. The ox said, "A lion is after me. Once he moves away, I leave the cave." But the goat did not listen to him and went on pushing him out. "I don't want to hear anything. Please leave my cave," she kept on saying. The ox was now tired of making her understand. She shouted loudly, "I'll not tolerate your stupidity any longer. Just let this lion go and I'll teach you a lesson." Moral: help the one in need. The victory of a horse. Once there was an argument between a horse and a deer as who could run faster than the other. The horse beated the horse betted that he is faster than the deer, while the deer claimed that his speed is more. The horse went to a man and said, "Could you please help me in defeating the deer?" The man said, "Okay, I am ready to help you, but only when you allow me to put a salad on your back." The horse agreed in the race. They defeated they defeated the deer. After winning the race, the horse asked the man to get down from his back. The man replied, "I'll not get down from your back. After winning the race, I have my claim on you, and you will do whatever I ask you to do." Moral: for a little fame, never bet your freedom. A lion and a whale. Once there was a lion standing on a sea beach, watching the movements of the waves. All of a sudden, he caught the sight of a huge whale and said, "Whale, you are so big and beautiful. Why don't we become friends and help each other in times of need?" "Good idea," the whale and divided into the sea. After a few days, the whale saw a lion chasing an ox. As the lion called her out of the water, she began to lose her breath. When she swiftly swam back into the water, the lion felt very bad. Next day, when he met the whale, he asked, "Why didn't you come when I called you for help yesterday?" The whale said, "Well, friend, it is not my fault. God has made me like that. I can use my power underwater only. On land, I am worthless. In fact, I cannot live without water." Moral: everyone has his own limitations. The ant and a grasshopper. It was a hot summer day. Everyone preferred to stay in their homes to protect themselves from the immense heat of the sun. But an ant was busy gathering food in spite of the heat. A lazy grasshopper laughed at her and said, "Why are you working so hard? Come and sing with me." But the ant continued with her work and said, "I am laying in store for the winter season. Sunny days will not last forever." "But the winter is so far yet," said the grasshopper. When there was snow everywhere, the ant had plenty of food stored. But the grasshopper had nothing to eat. So he went to the ant for food and said, "There is no food for you as you sang throughout the summer, so dance the whole winter." Moral: idleness is a curse. The foolish crow. A crow once saw a beautiful colored feather of a peacock and began to hate his black feathers. One day he found some peacock feather lying on the forest. He collected and fixed them on his own. When he came to the other crows and said, "You all are so dirty, I don't want to talk to you." Saying this, he flew away and sat with the peacocks. When the peacocks saw the peacock's feather, they made fun of him and said, "Look at this crow, he wants to become a peacock. Let us teach him a lesson." And all the peacocks began to strip off the feathers from his body and sent him back away from there. Being disheartened, being disheartened, he came back to his old friends, but they too refused to accept him. Moral: know and respect yourself. A problem of father. A man had two daughters. He, he, his got, he got his first daughter married to a gardener and the other to a potter. One day he went to visit his younger daughter. When he asked her how she was, she said, "Everything is fine with me, except that due to heavy rainfall, my mud pots take too much time to dry. So please pray for emptiness heat summer." When she asked his elder daughter the same question, she said, "I'm very happy, but nowadays is very hot and the heat is destroying all my crops. Please pray to the god for a heavy shower rainfall so that all my plants and crops come to life again." Now the old man was in a fix. What to do? One asked for rainfall while the other for the sun. Moral: it is not possible to please everyone. The wickedness of children. They left some frogs in the pond. Some boys often bothered these frogs by throwing stones at them. One day, as usual, they collected some stones and threw them on the frogs. The poor frogs would sometimes jump out of the water and sometimes jump to protect themselves. The wickedness of these children made the frogs crave for shelter. And meanwhile, an old frog jumped out of water and scolded the boys. "Stop it! The game which is making you all happy can make us injured and even kill us." The children had now understood what the frog said. and from that day onwards, he stopped throwing stones in the pond. Moral: never disturb others to please yourself. Suggestion of a crow. One, a- One summer season, a farmer was sowing flax seeds in his field. A crow who could foresee the future warned his friends, "We must go and destroy all the seeds sowed, otherwise we may fall in great trouble." Listening to the crow, the bird said, "Don't talk foolishly. How can we say it's be dangerous for us?" And everyone laughed at him. With the end of monsoon, when his flax plants matured, the farmer cut his plants to make the rope and netted them into a net. He then used this net to trap the birds around his field. One day, those birds were also trapped in the net who laughed at the crow. Moral: nip the evil in bud. Tit for tat. Once a rich blind woman announced that a doctor who cures her blindness will be rewarded with a bag full of gold coins. A doctor came forward to do so. The treatment continued for a long time. Every time he made a visit, he carried with him something or the other. One day his blindness was cured and she could see everything easily. When the doctor asked him for the reward, the blind lady refused to reward him. The doctor took the matter to the court. Before the judge, before the judge, the doctor said, "Judge Sahab, I have cured the lady's blindness, but now she is refusing to reward me." To this, the lady said, "Judge Sahab, when I cannot see anything kept in my house, how can I believe that my eyes are cured?" The, the start the startled and ashamed doctor quietly went away from there. Moral: as you sow, you so shall you reap. The wolf and hen. Once a wolf saw a beautiful hen sitting on a tree. His mouth started watering. He went close to the hen and said, "Hello, friend. What are you doing up there? Come down and chat with me." The hen said, "Don't befool me. I know if I come down, you'll excuse me. I know if I'll come down, you will eat me. So I'm safe here." Then the wolf made an ugly face and said, "Oh, don't you know? If there will be no killing of animals in the forest from now onwards, if this is so, the lion is running towards you. Will not eat the lion towards you will not eat you." Then the hen, "If this is so, the lion who is running towards you will not eat you," said the hen slyly. Listening to the lion's name, the wolf fled away from there in fear. Moral: never betray others lest you are betrayed. Thank you, Fozla Major TV. Thank you everyone for joining my live stream. The horse and a donkey. A man had a horse and a donkey. One day the donkey was sick, so he asked the horse to carry the donkey's load with his own, but the horse denied to help him. So the donkey had to do his task. At the end, as the sick donkey was unable to carry the loads, he fainted and died. The man had loaded the donkey's loads as well as the dead donkey on the back on his back. The condition to move with those extra loads was even worse now. If he had not burdened the donkey with his load, you would have a lot of people who work for you. Hello, Bennett's World. Thank you for joining our live stream again. We are so happy to see you again in our live stream. Now I'm going to read a story, The Destiny of a Donkey. A gardener had a donkey to load his flowers on him and go around to sell them. One day, a donkey thought that his master made him overwork. So he went to the Lord and said, "My present master makes me overwork, so please change my master." The Lord sent him to a potter. This condition was even worse there. The potter loaded earthen pots on him and went around selling them in the market. Being tired, the donkey again went to the Lord and requested him to change his master again. But now the Lord was very angry with him. He sent him to a butcher. The butcher saw the donkey and said, "Your skin will yield good leather." Listening to the butcher, the donkey wept for his foolishness. Thank you so much, Bennett's World. How are you doing? I hope you like my live stream. We really enjoy watching your videos. Thank you for the sixth like. Moral: wherever you are at the present is the best place for you. The frog in the well. Once there was a severe drought in the rivers. The ponds and the streams became dry. Two frogs wandering about in search of water reached the well. They peeped into it. There was water inside. They were very happy to see the water. After a long time, the frogs, after a long time, after after a long time, one of the frogs said, "Look, there is water in the well. Let's jump into it." Let's jump into it. But the other frog was a little bit intelligent. He said, "Friend, never decide anything in haste. We can easily jump into the well, but how can we come out of it? We will have to stay in the well forever." The first frog agreed to what the second frog had said, so they moved away from there. Moral: think before doing anything. Thank you so much, Bennett's Word. The farmer and his lazy sons. A farmer worked hard in his field and fed his two lazy sons. He advised them to work, but they turned a deaf ear to his advice. The farmer was very unhappy and much worried about them. One day he fell seriously ill. One day the farmer fell seriously ill. One day the farmer fell seriously ill. There was no hope left on for his life. Suddenly an idea hit him. He called his sons and said, "I have hidden some treasure in my grape orchard. After my death, you can dig it and divide amongst yourselves." Few days after the farmer's death, the two sons went to the grape orchard. To the grape orchard. They dug the whole went to the grape orchard. They dug the whole field but found nothing. They felt very sad. That and the crow. Kite swept away a lamp in its paws. A crow was watching this. He was inspired to do the same. So, without a second thought, it divided. It, it dived and tried to sweep away with the lamp in its paws. But the pointed paws got immediately the lamb's fur. Now it could not move from there. The more it tried, the worse it became. Meanwhile, a stranger passed by and saw the crow. He thought, I'll relieve the crow from its alignment and take him home for my children in the cage. They'll be very happy. Then he did the same. Once he locked in the cage, the crow wept and cursed his foolishness. Moral: never copy others blindly. The shadow of a crow. The shadow of a donkey. Sorry, I spoke the wrong thing. Thank you, Vatsal. Thank you, Dadi. It was a sunny day. Two travelers tried to walk. Two travelers. Ta- two, it was a sunny day. Two travelers, tired of walking with a donkey, decided to take rest at the place. Looking at the donkey's shadow, one of them tended to sit there, but the other was also claimed to sit there. Then both of them began to quarrel over the shadow. When the donkey saw this master quarreling, he thought, this is a golden chance. No, thank you, Bennett, for coming and joining. You always encourage me. Thank you, Fun Science and Music. Nobody will notice me. Let me escape from there. So, very silently, the donkey fled away from there. Moral: when two people fight foolishly, the third person often takes advantage of the situation. The plan of a lion. They left 4 oxen in a jungle. They were close friends. A lion's mouth watered whenever he saw them. But he knew that he could never kill the oxen as long as they stayed together. So he planned to separate them. He went to an ox and said, your other friends call you a fool. This made the ox said that he stopped talking with the other three. The lion misguided the other oxen and the friends had separated. Getting the chance, the lion attacked the separated one. But immediately the other three came there for his rescue and drove the lion away. The lion had to turn for his life. When the ox thanked his friends, they said, we are not fools to fall prey to the lion's trick. Moral: there is strength in unity. Thank you, Fun Science and Music. Okay, we'll watch your uploads. We always watch your uploads, Fun Science and Music. Why would we leave that one? Your uploads are very nice, Fun Science and Music. The Fox and the Goat. A thirsty fox peeped into a well as the water in it was low. She jumped into it. After quenching her thirst, she tried to come out it. She tried to come out it, but in vain. In meanwhile, the goat passed away. Peeping into the well, she asked, why are you there? The fox replied, it is very hot outside, but it is very pleasant here. Please come down and taste it. The foolish goat was taken in by these words. He jumped into the well. She jumped into the well. The fox at once rode on the goat's back and jumped out of the well. The foolish goat was left in the well. After coming out, the fox said, think before you do anything or suffer. Moral: look before you leap. The lazy donkey. One day, a merchant loaded his donkey with salt and drove him to the market. On the way, there was a stream. Some salt dissolved in the water. It made the load become lighter. He was happy and relieved. Next day, the merchant again loaded the donkey with salt. This time, the donkey deliberately dipped into the water. The merchant saw through the donkey's trick and decided to teach him a lesson. Next day, he loaded cotton on him. When he dipped in the water, the cotton soaked up much water. It made it it made his load so heavy that he could not carry it. The merchant gave him a good beating. In this way, the donkey was punished for being oversmart. The fox and a crane. Once a piece of bone, once a piece of bone had in a fox. Once a piece of bone stuck in a fox's throat. He went crying in pain to the other animals for help, but no one dared to take out the bone from his throat. A crane took mercy on him and said, "Open your mouth wide, I'll take out the bone." The fox opened his big mouth wide, and the crane pulled the bone out from his throat with his long beak. When the fox relieved the crane, "Now, since I have taken out your bones from throat, I deserve some reward." The fox answered anger. "How dare you ask me for reward? Is this not enough that your neck was inside my mouth and I did not eat you?" Moral. Evils have objections for kindness. Evils have no obligations for kindness. A small lamp. Long ago, when electricity was not introduced, people used oil lamps to lighten up their homes in dark. One day, a little lamp said in pride, "The light of my lamp brightens the whole house. The sun, stars, and the moon cannot compete with my light." All of a sudden, strong wind blew and the lamp went off. The old lady of the house lit the lamp again and said, "My dear lamp, you do not brighten our house in dark, but you cannot compare yourself with the sun and the moon. You have your own limitations." Moral. Nobody should take pride in one's abilities because each has his own limitations. The thief and his mother. Once a little boy stole a book from his friend's bag. He showed the book to his mother and said, "Mother, I've stolen this book from my friend's bag." His mother, instead of scolding him, praised and encouraged him to do so. In forthcoming years, he became a big thief. One day, he was caught by a police and was put in behind bars. When his mother came to meet him in the jail, he asked constables to give him few minutes. He went close to his mother and said, "You are responsible to make me a thief. You had punished me. If you had punished me in childhood, the things would have been different." Moral. Mother is a child's first tutor. Mother is a child's first tutor. The desire of a tortoise. Once a tortoise went to his friend Kite and said, "Can you teach me to fly?" The kite laughed and said, "No, how can you fly? You don't have wings." The kite tried to make the tortoise understand, but the later, instead of upon flying, the kite had no other option. He took the tortoise with his beak and took his flight in the sky. He opened his beak and said, "Try to fly." As soon as the kite opened his beak to speak, the tortoise lost his support and fell on the ground with a bang and died. Moral. It is not good to persist over a thing. Persist. Mama, I need water. See, I want to Drink water and thirsty. A donkey and a dog. A Sith had a donkey and a dog. The dog wagged its tail in front of him and got good food while the donkey got dry leaves and grass for his hard work. The donkey envied the dog and thought, I'll not tolerate this injustice anymore. I work hard, but my master doesn't take good care for me. So I'll also behave like a dog and wag my tail so that he loves me too. Excuse me, I'm just drinking water. With his thought in mind, he went to his master and wagged his tail in front of him. And as he began licking his leg, the merchant screamed out aloud, Take this donkey away. It has become mad. Then I went to drink water. Take this donkey away. It has become mad. Then his men beat the donkey to death. Moral: do that work which suits you. That was very funny. The dog started licking his owner's leg. Two pots. Once two pots were floating smoothly in a river along the swift current of water. The brass pot said to the earthen pot, Come closer to me so that I can support you while floating and take you safely to the river bank. Otherwise, you might sink into the water. Listening to this, the earthen pot said, Thank you for offering me the help. Thank you for offering me the help. I'm safe here. If I float with you and by accidentally we collide, I'll break into pieces. So I'm better away from you. Moral: beware of harmful neighbors. The hawk and a pigeon. A hawk and a pigeon. A hawk was looking for a chance to trap a pigeon out of the flock on a tree. But when he did not succeed, he thought of a plan. He went to the pigeons and said sweetly to them, Why don't you choose a leader among yourselves? He would protect you from other animals and birds, and they would live fearlessly. Poor pigeons did not understand the hawk's wicked plan. They agreed to what the hawk said. They thought that then the hawk advised, Make me your leader. I am strong and powerful. I can take good care of you all. Hello, Nanu. How are you? How is Bruni? I can never touch him, but she's very cute. The poor pigeons did not understand the hawk's plan. They agreed to what the hawk said and said, The hawk, foolish pigeons made the hawk their leader. Once they made the hawk the leader, I'm your leader, so every day I must get a pigeon to eat. Moral: never trust a stranger. That's very true. Why did the pigeons listen to the hawk? Any pigeon could be the leader. You need to have faith in yourself because if you make a stronger leader, if you make a stronger person your leader, he might harm you. once and the advice of others. Once an old man and his other sons were going and his sons were going with their donkey. The passerby called them foolish, as in spite of having a donkey, they were on foot. So the old man made his son sit on the donkey and began to walk beside him. Now, a man passing by called the boy crazy, as he was sitting on the donkey while his old father was on foot. Listening to the harsh comment, the son got down and asked his father to sit on it. On the way, some children called the father cruel as he was sitting on the donkey. It made the son irritated. So he too sprang and sat beside his father on the donkey. They made the feeble donkey die due to overload. Moral: it is not possible to please everyone. It is true. Why did they listen to the other people? If they would not listen to the other people and they would believe in themselves only, so the donkey would also not die and they could go home easily. The farmer and a crow. Once a few parrots were destroying the field of a farmer, so he brought a net and spread it there to trap the parrots. Unfortunately, along with the parrots, an innocent crow was also trapped. As soon as the crow was trapped in the net, he began to cry bitterly. He said, "I did not bring any harm to your crops, so please let me go." The farmer said, "I know you did not bring any harm to my crops, but since you are caught with the parrots, you'll also be punished." The crow isn't a duck. Long time ago, a crow lived on a tree near a river. Whenever he went to drink water in the river, he would stare at the beauty of white ducks floating in water. One day he thought, from now onwards, I would also swim in water. Being in the water for long will make my feathers white and look beautiful. With this thought in mind, he remained in water for long, but nothing unusual happened. Now he had understood well his color will never change and he will always be black.
Bolo,
Moral.
hi iconic. Thank you for joining us. Hi iconic.
Hi, iconic game slinger.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you for joining my life.
It's so good to see you here.
It's so good to see you.
Thank you for supporting me.
Moral: be satisfied with God. Be satisfied with what God has given you. Thank you for your support.
I love watching your videos.
I love watching your videos too. Your videos are very good. Once a honeybee sting. Once a honeybee thought, "I'll work so hard collecting nectar and prepare honey out of it, but always fearing somebody would steal my honey." So one day he went to Guru Brish Brihaspati and said, "Guruji, I prepare honey with great labor and skill. Everyone comes and steal it away from my hive. So please grant me a boon to sting people whoever steals my honey." Guruji was not happy with the bee's request, but he had to grant a boon to her somehow. So he put a condition before her. "You will not use your sting to kill a man. If you do so, you'll be killed by your own sting. Never try to harm others." The fox and a hawk. One day, when a fox was not at home, a hawk came down and swiftly carried away one of the babies of fox. In the evening, when the fox came back, not finding a kid, he became suspicious. When he went to the hawk and asked, "Did you hide one of my babies? If yes, then please return it back." The fox went on pleading, and hawk returned her baby. But he did not say anything, so the fox became annoyed and he brought a burning stick and said, "Return my baby, I'll I'll burn. Otherwise, I'll burn this dry tree along with the nest." Hello, Bugs baby. How are you doing?
I'm sorry we've not been able to visit you frequently, but we'll visit you.
I'm sorry, I'm not being able to visit you frequently, but I'll surely visit you tomorrow.
I need to watch all your past videos.
I need to watch all your past videos.
Past.
I need to watch all your past videos. Return, otherwise I'd burn this dry tree along with your nest. With the tree, your children will also burn and die. In fear, the hawk returned back the baby to the fox. Moral: do not torment others. Two wives. A man had two wives. The first wife was older than the second. Once the second wife saw some grey hair on the husband's head. She thought that if it will make people think that if some grey on husband, she thought that
Thank you so much,
if
Iconic. Thank you so much.
if it will make people think of him as an old man, so she removed all his grey hair. Thank you, iconic game slinger.
You are so kind. You're so nice.
You are so kind. Thank you for science and music. So she removed all his grey hair. Next day, his first wife saw her husband with black hair. It'll make people think of him as her son. So she removed all the black hair. It continued for 2 weeks. One day, the man looked at himself in the mirror. He was frightened. His wives, due to their foolish thought, had made him bald. Sorry, I spoke the wrong word. Bad. Moral: trying to please everyone may lead you into distress. The cocks, the cocks crow. An old lady had two maids. The whole day the lady would make them walk around the house at 4 o'clock in the morning and wake them up. The maids never liked waking up so early in the morning and so decided to invite invite a cock. They decided to kill the cock a chance. They decided they killed the cock and blamed somebody else for it.
Thank you, Bugs baby.
Thank you, Bugs baby.
You're so supportive.
You're so supportive and so kind. Next day, she woke them up at midnight and said it was not 4 o'clock then, but the lady said, "I know. You begin to work and wake me up when it is 4 o'clock." The maids were now rep- repentant why they worthlessly killed the cock. Why they worthlessly killed the cock. Moral: you never gain anything by harming others. Two friends. Once, two friends were on their way to a village. One of them saw a sword lying near a tree. He picked it up and said, "Look, I have found a sword." His friend corrected him and said, "Since we are traveling together, don't say I, but say we." But he neglected him and hanged the sword in his belt. They began to walk again. They had not gone far, and a crowd of angry people surrounded them. When one of the men saw the friend with the sword, he said, "Look, he has the sword. He is the murderer we are looking for.
Super.
Catch him
I
and
also my mom goes so good to see Yeah.
Hello, Supermom. So good to see you. I watch your videos. I watched more than 10 videos of yours, and I really enjoy watching your videos. They are very good. The friend with catch him, don't let him go, put him behind bars. The friend with the sword said, Friend, it looks like we are in trouble. But the other friend said, Friend, not we, but you are in trouble. Moral: share joys and sorrows equally with other friends. The pride of a cock. Two cocks lived with other animals in farm. Both claimed to be the king of the farm. The first cock was wiser than the other, so he suggested, Let, let's have a fight. Let's have a fighting competition. Whoever wins will be the king. The second cock liked the idea, but he could not defeat the first one. After winning, the first cock, spreading his wings apart, said, I'm the strongest cock in the world. As he was boasting around, fluttering his wings, a kite came along and very swiftly swept away with the cock in the air. Moral: Pride leads pride leads no pride leads one nowhere but lands in trouble. An ox, an ox and a wasp. Once an ox was grazing fresh grass in a field. All of a sudden, a wasp came flying there. She sat on the ox's tail. When she sat on his horns, thereafter on his back and again on his tail. But the ox was busy grazing. The wasp thought that the ox had not seen her, so she went closer to the ox and said, Friend, I hope I am not disturbing you. If you cannot stand my weight, please let me know, so that I shall go and sit somewhere else. The ox said, Oh no, I have such a huge body that it does not matter wherever you sit on me. Actually, you are tiny to be noticed. Moral: Little people, big words. That was really true. An ant and a dove. Once an ant slipped and fell into a river. She cried for help. A dove sitting on a nearby tree looked mercy on her. He took a dry leaf and threw it into the water. An ant quickly sat on the leaf and came out of the water. Then she thanked the dove and promised to repay him. One day, a hunter came there and aimed to shoot the dove. The ant was seeing all this, so she quickly stung on the hunter's leg. The hunter groaned in pain and missed his aim. Getting a chance, the dove flew away in air. Moral: One good turn deserves other. I'm back. A young cuckoo was singing while sitting on the top of a tree. Suddenly, a hawk divided and swept away the bird. The bird was taken aback by this sudden attack. With trembling voice, she said, I am so small that after eating me, your hunger will not satisfy. So please leave me and look for someone healthy. The hawk said, Although you are small, you are trying to befool me. So why should I let a prey go from my hand? So the hawk killed and ate up the bird. Moral: For more, don't lose a thing in hand. A fisherman and a little fish. Once a fisherman with his spread net in a river waited the whole day. but not a single fish came into his net. At the end of the day, he began to collect his net. He saw tiny fish in it. The fish said, "I'm such a tiny fish that it is worthless taking me now. So please put me back into the water and take me home when I grow up." The fisherman replied in anger, "Since morning I have got you only, and I am a fool. And do you think I am a fool?" Saying this, the fisherman kept the fish in his tub and left for home. Moral: never miss an opportunity. Hmm. The story of the cuckoo and a hawk and the fisherman and little fish were wait. These stories were of same type. The greedy woman. Once a poor widow, while sitting idle, thought how good it would be if I would have been how good it would have been if my hen laid two eggs instead of one. I would eat one and sell the other for one for many. With this thought in mind, she fed her hen. She fed her hen with extra grains that day. Next day, the hen laid two eggs. The woman was very happy. She sold one and ate the other. But gradually, her greediness increased. She began to feed her hen even more. The poor hen could not withstand the overfeeding. She felt sick and one day died. Now the old lady had nothing with her but but repent, but repentance. Moral: greediness is a curse. It makes one blind.
Don't get up.
Okay, so I'm reading the story Foolish Frog.
Foolish frog.
Foolish Frog. Foolish Frog. There lived two frogs, one in a pond and the other in a roadside house. Croak, 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 croak. Hello, how are you? One day the frog living in the pond said, "Friend, why don't you come and live with me in the pond? Your house is not safe because all
Mantasha TV, thank you for coming.
Hello Mantasha Devi, thank you for coming.
It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you." One day the frog living in your house is not safe because all through the bullock carts and horse carts run on the road. God forbid that you are even run over by any of these. The other frog said, "Your worry is useless. I'm staying here for years." Just a few days back, the frog met with an accident. He was run over by a bullock cart and died. Moral: always listen to your friends' good advice.
Mantasha,
Thank you, Mantasha Devi, an iconic game slinger.
we will be watching your videos after this. No, we will be watching your videos after. We will be watching your videos after.
We'll be watching your videos after this stream.
पढ़ो.
Revenge. One day a fox destroyed one of the unripe pumpkins in the farm. When the farmer saw this, he ran after the fox and was unable to hold off his long tail. The farmer collared the tail with a piece of cotton, dipped it in kerosene oil, and lit fire on it.
Kerosene.
Kerosene oil and lit fire on it. When the fox saw the flames on his tail, he ran towards the farmer's wheat field. The crops were already ready to be harvested. The fox sat on on fire. this burning tail. Within minutes, it was reduced into ashes, and the farmer was repentant for his mistake. A baby pumpkin had cost him a lot. Moral: never take any decision haste. In haste. Thank you, Fun Science and Music.
अच्छा लास्ट स्टोरी पढ़ो.
I'm reading the last story. Suggestion of a goat. A trader had a goat and a donkey. Since the donkey was bigger, he was given more food than the goat, but later never liked it. She often wished if the donkey was not there, she would have full attention of the master. So she thought of a trick plan. She said to the donkey, "Friend, you work the whole day without any rest. Why don't you ask the master a leaf for a day?" The donkey said, "Yes, you are right. But what should I do?" The goat advised, "Tomorrow you pretend to be sick." Next day the donkey told the master, "I cannot go for work today, I am not well." Later the later called a doctor. The doctor said, "I need a goat's lung to cure your donkey." So the goat was killed for the lungs. In the way, the goat's wrong suggestion became cause of her own death. Moral: do evil and look for the light. So I'll meet you tomorrow. Okay. Till then, bye.
बुक को लगा के छोड़ दे. बुक का कवर ऐसे. मेरा हाथ आ रहा है.
We'll be reading the book again tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming, Super Moms. Go. Bye. We'll be continuing this book tomorrow, and then after that, we'll be reading another book. Till then, bye.
Was it? Do an on stream. You know how to do it.